recommend that you don't necessarily rush out of here. Maybe stick around and just see if it does keep erupting, because it can be quite a show and it's not something that you see every day. Probably wondering who was Lady Knox and why does she get this geyser named after her? So Lady Knox herself, she wasn't really that important in New Zealand's history. It was her father, Lord Ranfurly. He was the 15th Governor General of New Zealand. He was in charge of all the prisons in New Zealand. So he was actually here visiting this prison, and he had heard about the geyser and he had his family with him. So Lady Knox actually induced this geyser on the prison visit, and initially it wasn't named after her. She named it after her brother, but the prisoners kept calling it the Lady Knox Geyser, so that name stuck, and that's where we get Lady Knox Geyser. So we do have an active geyser zone in this part of New Zealand. Like I said, there's about 15 active geysers in the area. Other areas of the world that you can see geysers are Iceland, Yellowstone, and Kamchatka in Russia. I'm sure there's other areas of the world where there is geothermal activity where you might see the odd geyser, but this is one of very few places where you're guaranteed to actually see a geyser other than Iceland or Yellowstone. So you're really lucky today to be able to see this. Geyser is actually an Icelandic word that means to gush forth, and this is going to gush forth in a moment or two. And when it does, if you do get any splashes on you, don't worry, the water will have cooled off by the time that happens. So enjoy the show. If you have any questions, I'm going to be in the park later giving talks. At 11:30, I'll be at the Champagne Pool. At noon, I'll be at the Panoramic View. 12:30 back at the Champagne Pool, and 1 p.m. I'll be at the Devil's Bath. So please feel free to come over and ask me any questions if you have any at any point in time. Likewise, if you see any of my colleagues, feel free to approach them and ask them any questions. Thank you very much for coming, and kia ora.
Y ella se dio cuenta que se activaba con jabón y que si no la activabas también es una erección, pero que no es exacto. O sea, podés venir y no darle.
Esa duda que teníamos era...
Sí, eso es lo que pasa en nosotros, que no te garantiza que esto puede ser hasta 10 metros, bajar, puede repetir si no, si se salpica el agua no te hace nada porque ya llega frío.
Nosotros nos estimulamos con jabón.
Sí, también.
আমরা ক্যামেরায় জমা পড়ে রাখছি চুরে বাদ দিয়ে ধরলেন ব্যাটারি শেষ হয়ে গেছে অলরেডি
I like the smell of the